Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be covering the games that I'm most looking forward to that are currently slated for a release in 2022. 2021 has been a decently solid year for gaming, but next year looks absolutely insane. We have exclusives from all of the big three scheduled to be released, as well as a huge variety of third-party games coming. This video cannot cover every game that I'm looking forward to. That video would be ridiculously long. This is just the ones that I'm extremely eager for and I have to talk about right now. At the end of this video, I'll do a string of honorable mentions that didn't quite cut it in a sort of sizzle reel, if you will. Starting with January 28th, we have the obvious one that most people my age are looking forward to. Pokemon Legends Arceus. I've been playing the Pokemon games on and off since the initial release of Red and Blue in the US. From the trailers, Arceus looks to be everything that I dreamed of as a 12-year-old playing on the original Game Boy. The first trailer did have a questionable frame rate, but I'm letting my inner child dream here. I cannot wait for this one to release next month. February is going to be a big month, with 3 games that I'm really looking forward to. On the 8th, we have Sifu, which I'm actively avoiding information on. I saw the first trailer, which showed me enough to know that I have to play it immediately. It is a martial arts game with incredible looking action. Your character is looking to get revenge on some bad dudes, and each time you die, you age and gain more skills to use in combat. At least that's what I've taken from that first trailer, and it's enough to sell me on it. Then 10 days later, Horizon Forbidden West finally arrives. It was initially intended to come out late this year. However, it got pushed due to COVID. This looks to be a stunning sequel to 2017's Horizon Zero Dawn. I actually just played Zero Dawn during the summer of 2019, so I am stoked for this game to come out. And I'm so glad to be on the hype train for it. And then only a week later, we get Elden Ring. I cannot believe that I only get a week with Forbidden West before I get absolutely lost in the world that is Elden Ring. I took part in the network test a few months ago, and I can already tell you that Elden Ring is probably going to be a contender for my Game of the Year next year. Moving on to March, we have Triangle Strategy on the 4th. Seemingly a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy Tactics, it is an absolutely gorgeous game, using the lovely HD 2D art style that Square Enix pioneered with Octopath Traveler. When that initially released, one of the first thoughts that came to mind, what if Square makes a tactics RPG with this art style? And here we are. The demo for this on the eShop was a ton of fun to play, so they have me hook, line, and sinker. I'm also looking forward to Stranger of Paradise on March 18th. I've covered it on the channel already, having played both demos that were released for it. Hopefully, by the time it comes out, they'll be able to polish the game enough and fix the few issues I did have with it. Then skipping all the way to November 11th, we have Starfield, the ever-present and often leaked Bethesda game. It's been announced and in development in the background forever. We have zero gameplay information and nothing official covering the game whatsoever, except the small teaser trailer that you're seeing now. With that, I still can't help but be hyped for this game. I'm hoping that it turns out to be a Elder Scrolls / Fallout style game in space, with a focus on storytelling and exploration. Now that doesn't seem like too many games for 12 months of the year, but that is nothing. There are an absolute ton of games coming next year that don't have hard dates announced. Sea of Stars is a beautiful game that I was just made aware of during the Indie Direct in December. It's already shot up to one of my most anticipated games. They announced it with the holiday 2022 release date, so I'm already planning next Christmas around playing this one. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp was intended to be my Christmas game this year, but Nintendo had to delay it until early next year. I'm excited to play these classics from my childhood with a new coat of paint on them. Hopefully this release is able to connect with new fans and reinvigorate the franchise. Baldurs Gate 3 is a game I've been looking forward to, but keeping myself distanced from until its full release. I've avoided most of the content on the game. They have it in early access, but I am using all of the strength I have to hold out for the full release. Larian Studios had been planning on that happening next year, and hopefully that's still the case. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games of all time, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're able to do with this world. Bayonetta 3, a long-awaited sequel, the game was announced years ago and been radio silent until this year. We finally got a full trailer as well as the 2022 release window. The trailer was interesting, and it definitely keeps my attention on the game. I'm hoping that Platinum is able to put out a game of the caliber that this series deserves. Their work with Babylon's Fall leaves a lot to be desired. The recently announced remake of Deadspace is apparently targeting a Q4 release next year, which would be absolutely incredible. We only have the teaser trailer so far, but I've heard so much good about the original. I've actually never played through this series at all. I've started it up and taken a look at the environment, but I've never gotten around to playing them. Should I play those before the remake, or just wait for this to come out? God of War Ragnarok, as expected, was delayed until next year with no actual date. I am waiting on the edge of my seat for this game. God of War 2018 was one of my favorite experiences on the PlayStation 4, and I am absolutely losing my mind waiting for Ragnarok. I have to see where this story goes, and I need to know how it changes Kratos' relationship with his son. Hogwarts Legacy is announced as having a release next year. The rumor, thanks to the Nvidia leak, is specifically in March. The initial trailer for this game gave me goosebumps, and it had my wife and I giddy with excitement. The Harry Potter universe means so much to us. Putting the writer and her views aside, we love this world, and more of it is a dream come true. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is supposed to come out as well. The dream is that it's a Kirby game mixed with Mario Odyssey. If it can reach that high bar, I think it will do incredible things for the Kirby franchise going forward. My son's most played game is Kirby Star Allies. He is so ready for this one to come out, he absolutely lost it when he saw this trailer. And finally making a Western debut, Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero. It's been out absolutely forever in Japan, but Falcom was never able to translate it and release it in the West. This is thankfully being corrected, mostly due to a fan translation that was completed recently. The still untitled sequel to Breath of the Wild is aiming for next year. It's been 5 years since the first one blew the internet to pieces. To say this game is hyped up is an understatement. It seems like all of us are staring at Nintendo, salivating, waiting for this one to come out. The final 2 games are almost blasts from the past, but they are new experiences. Metal Slug Tactics, a dream come true. An S.N.K. RPG. I cannot imagine this one being bad. Sign me up, 100%. And lastly, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. It's a new TMNT beat-em-up. What more do we need from it? It was supposed to come out this year, but again, COVID reared its ugly head. This game looks like it pulled the core from the classic games, modernized it, and made a new, exciting experience out of it. Alright, and that is all for the big games for next year that I just absolutely had to talk about right now. I cannot believe that there are so many games that I'm already looking forward to like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments your thoughts on this list. Are there any games I missed? I will see you in the next video. Stay safe out there.